like a cloud of radiation, and that cloud moved over to Canada, and it didn't remain over there. So Canada probably going to have some trouble with it, and I don't know, but it'll be interesting to read about it. Also the tsunami, and you knew what happened there. So there were so many things happening around Japan, but although these things, as there is a song that said, I don't know, it's Kelly Perry probably, but doesn't kill you make you stronger. So, so it's like that. I think Japan is getting stronger and stronger after what is happening. So the government they have an executive branch. As the old style, they have an emperor, and it's called Akihito, and since 7th January 1989. Behind him, there is a deputy of prime minister, and from there they spread the whole government, and they have a cabinet where they have like a house of representatives that they are determined by their subject, or like I'm gonna show you with the health department. The World Book, there is an age structure. Most of the population is located here. These numbers, this is the age, and these numbers are in millions. So here this is 4.8 million people are between 65 and 69 years old, and this is for both male and female. And there is a very interesting thing to see. There is like this is an homogenic stats where they are almost the same number as male and female. No, there is no much disparity in their sexes. So yeah, they are distributed like that, and they have a very elder people growing and stable over there, and yeah, growing in terms of population, because the young people, they are just a few, but the big amount is on the old people. As we saw before, the life expectancy for men was like nowadays 80 years. This is for male, the blue line, and this is for female, the red one. And as you see, they increase their life expectancy from the 90s until now, nowadays. Those lines here could be related to the time where the disaster were occurring. So this is more or less 2011, but anyway, women did survive more than men. And this is something that I was thinking. Probably men were working, trying to save other lives. I don't know how is distributed their force in helping like firemen or something like that. So for the health system, the beginning was in 1927 when the first employee health insurance plan was created. And in 1971, Japan achieved universal health insurance coverage, and almost everyone became insured over there. From 1961 to 1982, the copayment rate was gradually lowered to 30%. And this on 1961, the copayment was from 70% what they have to pay. So it was too high for the people, but from the same government, they start to lower it until they got to 30%. In 1983, all elderly persons have covered by the government sponsored insurance, so they were already covered for their life when they became over 65 years old. And by the early 1990s, there were more than 1,000 medical hospitals, 8,700 general hospitals, and 1,000 comprehensive hospitals with a total capacity of 1 million beds. So they really did so well. They covered everything, so they have the capacity to afford the need of the society by that time, and it was just the early 90s. So you could imagine after 20 years, 30 years. So sorry, 27 years that had been passed from that time, that they have been even improving in that. Also in the human resources, they have 191,400 physicians, 66,800 dentists, and 3,033 nurses, 20,000 nurses. So there were the capacity, the human resources, everything to have the perfect system that they were creating at that time. It is also nice to read about their other licensed practice that they have, like acupuncture, moxibustion. This one I didn't know what it was. I mean, actually, it is actually like acupuncture, but what they do is that somehow they burn with the needles. They burn part of the body. I don't know how.
Sorry.
Yeah, probably. Yes, please.
It's not burning, but it's getting hot, but they get very close to the body, and with the heat, it's like stimulating this specific points, but they don't burn.
Okay.
But it's nice.
So what I want to say anyway, you are free to argue. It's very important to know that. So yes, this is important because that tells us about the tradition of the people, that they might not go to the doctor, to the Occidental medicine. They might get to their medicine and their culture to solve their health problems. So as I was telling you, the government, they have the national government. There is also the imperator is over there. But anyway, there is the minister and the House of Representatives that they have distributed the power. And they are all divided by the cabinet, the Minister of Finance, the Minister of Health, and the Minister of Health actually is the most important one in terms of the health, of course. And he is in charge for the Social Security Council, the Health Science Council, and Central Social Insurance Medical Council. And this is very good because as all these councils, as the word says, they are always consolidating and saying what is the best for their practice. Actually, in my country, we don't have this health science council, and I don't know in many countries if they have this health science council where they are looking the technology, the new discoveries around the world, and they are importing and trying to see what is the best for them. So this caught me the attention very much. And there are another part of the national government that is called Prefectures Health Care Council, and they are the ones who regulates and control the hospital, the clinics, and the institutions that provide health care. So they have a lot of regulation, but I will tell you later about the regulation, which is very, very interesting, and this is why I think they are the best health system. So in general, the health system is divided into two big insurance, but those two big insurance are made of another thousands of insurance that they have distributed over there. But those, like this is the national health insurance is the general one. In Japanese is Kukumin Kenko Hoken. It was nice to read. They are made of 3,500 insurance, small ones. But anyway, they are very regulated, and all of them have the same providers, the same offer to the public. So anyone can choose whatever they want, and anyway, it doesn't matter because they will have their same quality or sources that they are looking for. And the ones who are not, these ones are the national health insurance. It's for the people that they work and they pay taxes and they contribute to the system. And there is another system for people who don't work. It's the health insurance for workers. Sorry, it's the opposite. Health insurance for workers is the one that the workers has, and the other one is for everybody. Is this one for the health insurance for workers is made of 8 unions, and they are societies that they promote, and they are looking for the health and the wellness of the workers, and they do preventional and promotional programs of health for them. They do occupational health. It's a very complex and very interesting system that they are always looking for the best for their affiliates. There is another separate system of insurance, the Kyogo Hoken, and this is for long term, run by the municipal governments. As I said, there is the House of Representatives, but this House of Representatives, one of the representatives goes to one municipal region of the Japan. So they have like an individual power to decide how the insurance are running in the municipal part. But anyway, they are regulated the same as the other ones in the whole Japan. And people who are over 40 years old, they have contributions of around 2% of their income. So this is also very good because they are not contributing too much, but they are getting a lot from their health system. As I said before, they have an universal and it is also mandatory health system. All residents are required by law to have a health insurance. If they don't, they can be going to court. They can get a fine, and it is necessary for them to have health insurance. So the cost of the service is 70% by the government and 30% of the affiliated. Medical fees are strictly regulated by the government to keep them affordable. So this is also very good because it's the government itself that is taking care of the prices and everything in order to not to have too high prices of the services that they are having. And the affiliated paying also is depending on the family income and the age of the insurers. So pensions are responsible of paying 10%, 20%, or 30%, but depending of their age and the income of their family. This is a National Health Hospital for Cancer. As you see, it's pretty impressive, big, and it looks so high-tech. This is the most important slide that I have to tell you. Fees for all healthcare services are set every 2 years by negotiations between the health ministry and physicians. So for me as a physician, it's very, very interesting and very nice to see because the negotiation determines what the prices are going to be, but also it determines my future as a physician if I'm expected to get some remuneration of what I'm doing and a fair income then and actually dealing with the government itself. And fees, this is also very important, fees are identical across the country. It doesn't matter if you are in Tokyo, the capital, or if you are in the very north part of the sea and there is no one there, the fees are going to be the same, and this is regulated. And if physicians attempt to gain the system by ordering more procedures to generate income, the government might lower the fees for those procedures at the next round of fee setting. So it's a game that actually the physicians and the government is playing, and it's a trust game that they need to trust each other to work together and to just get advantage of what they are doing. So as an example, an MRI was lowered by 35% in 2002 by the government. Thus, as of 2009, in the US, an MRI of the neck region could cost $1,500, but in Japan it costs $98. So this is a huge difference that makes a strong system. And once attention monthly copayment reach a cap, no further copayment is required. So that's another good thing, because anyway, if there is another regulation, if the patient maybe is going too many times to the doctor because of his chronic disease or whatever is happening, it's not going to pay as much as is going to the doctor. It's going to pay just something one cap at the top of what they have arranged, and it's not going to pay any longer for more. In 2008, the number of acute care beds per 1,000 total population was 8.1, which was higher than the other OECD countries such as the US, that was 2.7. So that's incredible, and in the comparison of the population and the big size of the country, that's a huge disparity, a huge difference, and that makes a very good system. In 2008, per 1,000 population, the number of practicing physicians was 2.2, which was almost the same as the United States. It was 2.4, and the number of practicing nurses was 9.5, which was a little lower than in the United States, that was 10.8, and almost the same as in the United Kingdom or in Canada. These are Yokohama Hospital Tower, and as you can see, there is the land I don't know how to word in English. For
Oh,
helipad.
Helipad.
Helipad?
Helicopter.
Yes, the helicopter lands here. so, this is so good because Yokohama Hospital is one of the best hospitals over there, and they have this referral system where any part of Japan, whenever a patient needs to go to Yokohama, they provide a helicopter to bring the patients to the facilities. It's very good. So quality, Japanese accounts for high-level medical treatment is generally competitive, as we know, and as it is very well known around the world. Their quality is so good, and there is evidence of that in the New England Journal of Medicine by McDonald. This is so funny by McDonald, because it's just the McDonald's. Sorry, never mind. And Tsukuramato, that they suggest that the outcomes of gastroesophageal cancer is better in Japan than in the United States. In both patients treated with surgery alone and surgery followed by chemotherapy. Japan excels in the 5-year survival rate of colon cancer. So their results are much more better than in the United States, or the quality is obviously really good, and it is proven. It's not that they are famous for it, it's just evidence that shows their quality. The access is very good also. Regional and national public hospitals or through the private hospital or clinics, they can access whatever they want, and they are, as we saw in the first slides, they have many hospitals, private clinics, wherever you go, then you can go. And this is another very good point. There is no reservation required. There is no waiting period. Almost all Japanese people can go at the same day to the doctor, and they can get an appointment. If there is no that day, then the next day. So the waiting time is really good. CT scans and MRIs per capita rate 8 times higher than in the British and twice as high as Americans. So they have the facilities and the technology to provide people's needs. And as been saying, Japan has about 3 times as many hospitals per capita as the US. And this is something about the access. There is a problem anyway, because people feel that they have the facility to go to the doctor, and it makes a problem because they are consulting for whatever they have, and most of the time they are not consulting for real emergencies. So that makes a problem. In Tokyo, around 40,000 people are rejected before treatment and before anything, because their diagnosis is not something serious, but the people anyway is consulting. But that makes another very big important issue, is that anyway these 14,000 people could also be diagnosed or mistaken, or maybe underestimated. And as I was reading this, there was a case when an old man of 70 years old, he went to the doctor, and he was refused 24 times from 24 hospitals, and after he visited the 24th one, he died 90 minutes after. So he was actually having something serious, but they refused him. So because of the amount of people that is going to the hospital for something that is not an emergency, maybe doctors, they get biased, and they feel that probably something is not that serious that it's supposed to be, and then they let the people die for no reason. This is the Mount Fuji. Maybe you know this one. In Colombia, it's so funny because we have Canon cameras. I don't know if you know Canon. This is a brand of cameras, very good. And in every shop where you are going to buy a Canon camera, there is this photo. And also, if you need to have a photograph, you need to look for this photo. It means that they are taking photograph over there. So it's funny for me to remember. But I'm going to tell you an interesting thing about this mount. Mount Fuji is very well known around the world, as we see. But this Mount Fuji, behind it, there is an area called Aikorahara in Japanese, And the numbers of the majestic Mount Fuji is the sprawling 30.5 square miles of this place, and it's a forest. And the thing is that the people goes there to commit suicide, and it's very famous around the world, and it's one of the most popular suicide destinations in the world. 100 people a year have successful killed themselves over there. So as you can see, their health, mental health, is something that might be not that good than other countries. Japan has one of the highest suicide rates in the world. The global financial crisis in 2008 made matters worse, resulting in 2,645 recorded suicides in January 2009. There was a huge amount of people just committing suicide. And this area that I'm telling you is actually, I saw it in Nat Geo, is one of the most scary part of the world to be in. So they showed this pattern, so I bring it to show you. So for the conclusion, this is personal. Why Japanese healthcare system work is because the government takes good care of people. They are actually looking for the best for the people, and Japanese hospitals are managed by doctors, no corporations. Regulations, agreement, control. This is so good that the physicians, who are the ones who deal with the people and also deals for their own matters, they are the ones who are taking care of the things that will happen between the providers and the people who will receive their services. This is to mention 14 visits per year. That's the average of the people that goes to the doctor per year, and this is pretty amazing also. Probably because of the facility, the good things that they can go to the doctor and have a medical checkup. I actually never go to the doctor. But also, as like any system, Japanese healthcare is far from the perfect, so we cannot just assure that they are just the best ones. Same problems as everywhere. To run a thing, some doctors order unnecessary tests. This is, I feel one of the most important things, that is just taking the money from the system, taking the money out from the system, because we are all paying this. Prolongated hospital stays have been known for every minor procedure. So there is something, as I said, probably not so important, and they are taking the patient inside to have hospitalization. And it is also rare to leave the doctor without any prescription. So wherever you go, anyway, you will have a medication for, even you feel that maybe, I don't know, one hand is cold and the other one is hot, then you got paracetamol anyway. So, and also there is a recommendation to return. So there is a follow-up that probably is an unnecessary follow-up that they are making. So, arigato. Thank you.
It's kind of like deja vu from Tegan's presentation a bit, right?
Because it's similar to Korea?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, especially the drug consumption, the
overprescribing?
overprescribing.
Yeah.
So my questions were, how is the medical tourism industry there? And also, under suicide, you talked about positive posts. What are those?
Sorry, I didn't understand the second
So how is the medical tourism industry?
Yeah, that's the first one. Yeah.
And the second one, under suicide, you talked about interventions, and one of them was a positive post. What is that?
Yes, they are, well, first of all, the first question, I know this question not from this research that I did, is that they have a high medical tourism, very strong one. People actually is going to have health care, and they have private, and there's, as I said, well, everyone, they have this universal and mandatory health system for everyone, and everyone is insured. But they have also private institutions. But this private means for the people from outside, because actually they don't need to have a private system. anyway, they have whatever they want. But for the ones that we are out of the country, then we can make appointments, and we can go, we can have the treatment. They are regulated. There is something very regulated. There is about organ transplantation. They don't do for foreigners. So there are some very special private hospitals that they might, but under it's very regulated, and there are many restrictions for that. They have narrow bone transplant. This is the only one that they have, and this is actually the transplant that they can take, the narrow bone, but no the other organs like maybe a kidney or other organs. For the suicide, they do campaigns try to make people happy and to understand what's the problem for them in order to commit suicide. They have free attention of psychiatrists. Well, of course it's free, but psychiatrists and psychologists, they have a special package when a person actually is like willing to commit suicide. They can go straight away to these professionals and get help in a special program provided by the government. So they are improving and implementing everything in order to stop the people committing suicide. And I have seen also in the research, they post ads on the streets that they promote not to commit suicide. Yes.
Just a note, there is a culture-specific psychiatric entity in Japan. It's called, I think TK, something like that. There is a disease, a psychiatric disease that is only confined to Japanese. It's believed to be maybe cultural, maybe modernization related, but people they isolate themselves for months in the same room. And it's not seen anywhere else in the world. I've seen a documentary about that. It's really, I think it's one of the reasons that there is a high suicide rate in Japan.
Thank you, Diego. Very good. So, I mean, Japan and Toyota in the Japanese healthcare system makes sense to me. It's the same people. Let's talk about a few quick things, and I think we'll take a break. Okay? The percent of GDP spent in Japan on healthcare is 10%. Okay? So let's just go over this because you're all looking at these numbers. The United States is 17%. Israel is 8%. France is 11%. So when you look at the scale, first of all, remember this isn't absolute dollars or shekels or whatever the unit of measure is, right? It's a percent of GDP. So in a low-income country, it may be 5% of very little money. Okay. So when you look at something in the range of 10 to 11%, that's a fairly high percent GDP. This is a wealthy country putting a fair amount of money into its healthcare. Okay, 8% tests the bottom of the high-income countries. We'll hear about the UK, but Israel's kind of toward the bottom. All right. Next point. Japan has a largely private healthcare system, right? It's largely privatized. We'll talk more about this, but there are three ways to pay doctors: fee-for-service, salary, and budget. We'll talk about budget later in the course. Fee-for-service means what?
Immediate.
Depends what procedure you did.
Yeah, the
You pay for the service that
You
is
pay for the
provided.
service that you're given.
Is it out
Okay.
of pocket?
It doesn't matter whether it's out of pocket or not. What does this do, what's the incentive for the physician?
To
Do a lot of
provide more
expensive
service. The more you
procedures.
work, the more you get.
The more you work, the more